It's a very important day for us, Mr. President, because we are celebrating the 27th year of our democracy. And in the 27th year of our democracy, Mr. President, I was thinking this morning in welcoming you, I was saying, what am I going to say besides seeing the center itself? And it occurred to me, Mr. President, that 27 years down the line, South Africa is on fire. Not the negative fire, but the positive fire. And 27 years of democracy, some people have been putting logs that can make the fire to grow and lighten up South Africa. But of course, Mr. President, somewhere along the line, we have others who come with twigs that are not dry. And I'm saying, Mr. President, part of what you see here is the dried twigs that we have to keep on putting on the fire to lighten up the whole South Africa. You're very welcome, Mr. President. Thank you very much. We have now come to the end of this session. The President will be accompanied by very few, the Premier and the MEC will take the President around to see the facility. The rest of the people who are here, we will request that you move to the main venue. 1, 2, 3.
This year marks 27 years since we attained our freedom from apartheid misrule. On this day, we recall the historic events of the 27th of April 1994, when we voted for the first time. On this day, 27 years ago, we closed the chapter of the horror story of apartheid. Nelson Mandela, the father of our nation, took the salute from a unified defense force we now call the South African National Defense Force. The meaning of this new order is always so beautifully displayed by the new generation of soldiers who represent the diversity of our country, as we saw today when Major Vundla, Lieutenant Vilakazi were flying the Gripens, the mighty jet fighters of our nation, and Major Nzuta and Major Peterson were flying the Hawks. Now, this is a clear representation of the change that has taken place in our nation. In the past, these jets would have been flown just by white people. Today, there are black young soldiers who are flying these fighter jets. Under apartheid, this would never have been thought of or seen. Much as they are all men who flew today, we know that there are also young women who fly these lethal fighter jets. Now, I want to say to our commanding officers in the SANDF, do make sure that we see more and more women in key roles in the defense force. in a similar way as the women of 1913. The women in 1956 mobilized themselves, and 20,000 of them marched to the union buildings to fight against this unjust system. They were prepared to resist, and there was nothing that was going to stop them. They stood for what was right, but not for themselves, but for their fellow men and women. And it is for this reason that we say, Mbokodo, we salute you. We honor you, and we thank you for the struggles that we waged to get our country to where it is today. The freedom that we enjoy today, that we celebrate on the 27th of April, is in large measure the result of the struggles that were waged by the women of our country. In saluting the role played by women in our struggle, I am glad that the Ministry of Social Development and the Free State Government have created a legacy project in honor of Ms. Charlotte Maxeke through the establishment of the Charlotte Maxeke Treatment Center to address the psychosocial challenges our people face here in Botshabelo. After 27 years, we are still striving to be a South Africa that belongs to all who live in it, be they black or white, man or woman, rural dweller or urban dweller, able-bodied or living with disability, regardless of their beliefs, their language, or their sexual orientation. Let us acknowledge and let us appreciate, and more importantly, let us celebrate the diversity of this country, for it is what makes us who we are.